Hi everyone, Claudia here from Lighting Clarity. Have your channel messages for the week beginning Monday, the 24th of February. Please be with me as I connect for you all. Thank you. All right, I have King Solomon coming straight in. Just be with me as I make this connection stronger. So Solomon's saying, um, around April, there's going to be some big changes, some substantial ones. So I just want to see what these are for people. Just bear with me. It's going to be different for everybody, but he's making that very clear. So let me just see. So there's going to be a clearing up around a situation where there's been confusion for some people, where you're going to finally understand what the answer is to this situation and why something occurred. So that's for one lot of you that's coming in. What else is there, Solomon? Okay, so are being shown some of you are moving and embarking on new waters as well. So some people are starting new courses or will be looking to start new courses. That's coming in. So decisions around new courses. Whatever these decisions are, whatever these are, whatever happens around April, it may look small to some of you, it may look larger to others, but whatever it is, it's actually going to be quite life changing. It's going to change the dial in which you are heading in your lives at the moment. It's going to change your compass. So this is a substantial change. It's going to bring substantial changes in whatever way, shape, or form this is going to be for you. He wouldn't say this if this wasn't, open my eyes for a second, if this wasn't something that's going to shift you in a different direction, move you in a different way. So that's around April. So let's just see what happens. That's so exciting. Just bear with me as I continue with Solomon. So some of you at the moment are feeling a little bit like the air's gone out of your balloon. That's how he's wording it. Like the air's gone out of your balloon a little bit. Like you've kind of just sort of stopped a little bit in your tracks. You're like, where do I go now? What do I do now? How do I do this now? It's like there's a feeling of very, very mild melancholy, if you want to use that word, or just not feeling as happy or as great as you could be on an emotional level. And there is a bit of which way do I head? What do I do here? It's like the air's gone out of your balloon. I'll use that, what he's just said. So that is what he's making me feel that some of you are feeling at the moment. I just want to go into those of you who are feeling that just a second. Feeling deflated, he says. He says it is a moment in your journey where you're aware that something new has to come in, but it hasn't yet. It's like you're in between the past and the future, which obviously we are, but in between the past, that the immediate past that you've just moved through the life, lot of life lessons, and you're in limbo at the moment between waiting for what's coming next, what's going to shift, what this year will bring. And he's making me feel that there's been a little bit of wind going out of your sails where you're feeling a little bit deflated, not so impressed with life as you could be. Not so impressed with life as you could be. So it makes me feel that as you move forward, you're going to find your momentum coming back in. And a lot of you are quite emotionally intelligent, more than you give yourselves credit for. There's something that one of you or a lot of you are smelling a rat over something. He says, if you're smelling a rat, it is a rat. So trust your intuition. If something doesn't feel right or doesn't ring right, we want you to trust your intuition. This is coming up for each of you now in the coming weeks, or if it's already here. He says, just trust your intuition on this. If it smells like a rat, it is a rat. If it feels like a rat, it's a rat. He says, I want you to go with that. He says, don't fear what you can't see yet. Don't fear what hasn't arrived yet. He says, a lot of you are aware of moving forwards, and it's like you'll begin to gain momentum as you do. You're already aware of that. Some of you are sort of wondering what life is going to bring next. You're feeling a little bit bored with the way things have looked and are looking right now. He says, this is all moving and changing. You are in that in-between stage. He's reiterating that again. So he says this is a necessary lull, and he says your teams are gathering around you as we wait for the contracts that are meant to come into alignment with you to come in. He says it's not necessarily you. He says around you we are waiting for all of those, how do we say, those people to come into their own alignment in order for those situations you're looking for, those changes to come into alignment with you. He says the universe is trying to give everybody a win-win, so to speak. He says it's not necessarily yourselves when you're waiting, it's other people that need to come into alignment with themselves in order for them to be in alignment for you, in order for those soul contracts to activate and to work in the way that is needed in order for you to move on to the next step, move on to the next platform that you're meant to be standing on. He says this is only a short moment. He says coming into April, moving even into March, you're going to find your movement forward is going to start to come in a big way. He says in April, we'll see you making some decisions or finding that there is some life changes that are put upon you without you asking for them, but they will be important life changes that down the line will bring in more happiness and more joy for you, and you'll know exactly you are where you're meant to be at. So that's also coming in. Now, in closing, he says it's not long to wait before each of you will start to feel more heightened, more happier within yourselves and with life. He says there is, what is this? Hang on a sec, guys. I want to see what he's saying. So there is an offering, and we've been saying this for a while. There is an offering that's going to come in. I feel as though for some of you, it's going to come from your bosses. So this could be to do with a shift in positions, an upgrading position. Would you like to try this project, see how you go? There's something you'll be entrusted with, and you'll be quite chuffed that you've been considered. Solomon says, I want each of you to stop regretting what was. Some of you have been moving in regretting mode over certain situations, over certain people, over I could have done better here, I could have done this. He says, no, let that go. He said it went exactly as it was supposed to go. You did the best you knew how to do in those moments. He says it wasn't necessarily your fault. There was someone else or other people around you that were not as emotionally intelligent as you are or couldn't see what you could see. He says you were not wrong. He says you were not wrong. It was those people who were not able to see beyond themselves. It was not your fault. He says that is enough with the regret or self-blame. It is time to move on, for you have new waters to navigate, for you have new life lessons to move through. And he shows me life will begin to look a lot lighter and brighter than what it has for everybody. And he says, we want you to continue moving and following your paths down your roads. All right, I'm going to thank Solomon for coming in. He was quite strong to channel this morning, I must say. He had some important words to tell you all. So I do want you to hear what he has said, because I felt it was quite an important reading. Not always as uplifting as it normally is, but it's something that needed to be said, and something that each of you, or whoever this pertained to, the different categories, what needed to be said, you needed to hear it. What was said, you needed to hear it. All right. Now, this week, I'm putting out my advert for my meditation course that starts the beginning of April. It is a series of recorded healings that are sent out every Friday. I keep the groups intimate, so I'm able to work with each of your energies. The way in which I run my healing meditation groups is where I work with everybody individually. You hear your name called, you hear what's being worked on, you hear what's being cleared, you hear what life lessons you've been going through, or cycles or patterns, and you come to an understanding as to why you've moved through them, and we look at clearing them. Everyone will experience differently within the healing sessions. You will take away within from the meditation course exactly what you need to take away, and the shifts that occur within you will be big, and they will be different to everyone else. If you have been moving through blocks, if you have been moving through continual same life patterns and cycles, if you have been moving through difficulties with manifesting, if you've been moving through very, very mild feeling of depression, very mild, if you're needing that shift, if you're needing that help, that step up, this is the course for you. This is a transformative journey. It goes for 8 weeks, 7 weeks of recorded healings. The 8th week is a reading with me, one-on-one personal via Zoom. Now, all the recordings are sent via Zoom to your inbox each Friday. We are beginning the first week of April. I think that's Friday the 4th. In April, we are sending those out. So I'm working with Archangel Michael and Gabriel in this course. It's quite a transformative step forward. We will be bringing in some very, very heightened spiritual angelic frequencies that's going to move what has been sitting there and bring in that understanding of what has been perhaps moving through you as a cycle in your life. So this is quite a beautiful course. And anyone who's worked with me will tell you how they have grown as a result of working with spirit through the channelings that come through me. So if this sounds like this is for you, please keep a lookout for the advert, or please send me an email in lightingclarity@gmail.com, and I can send you the advert directly and answer any questions that you have. The course is, I've forgotten what the cost is in this moment. Forgive me. What is the cost? Have I got it here? The cost will be on the advert. Many, many blessings. I look forward to working with each of you. For those of you who put your hand up for this beautiful course, if the group gets too big, I will make it 2 courses, and we will split that in 2. So I'm able to work with each of you quite deeply. All right, many blessings. Have a beautiful week to you all. I'll see you all again this week. Thanks, everyone.